Hi, this is Kate from Generate Magic, and today I want to talk about this idea that you hold the keys to the kingdom, and the only reason that you don't recognize it is because you're choosing to see through the lens of lack instead of love. But looking at it from a slightly different angle, I recently watched the movie The Banshees of Inisherin, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a new movie with Colin Farrell, really good movie, and so I feel like the movie illustrates this concept really well. And so in the movie, I'm not going to give you the whole breakdown, but basically it's about a friendship that ends. And so both men in the movie, they really kind of carry this whole grudge to ridiculous extremes. And even though maybe initially it kind of starts out where both of them kind of have good reasons for why they want what they want, it very quickly turns into just this really pointless grudge and egoic battle. And so I think it illustrates very well the way many of us, have either been involved in or just kind of like observed, right? Certainly certain family members, for instance, kind of getting involved just in these really pointless grudges and just carrying them on way longer than they should. And again, it just comes down to pride and ego and just wanting to dig your heels in and be right, no matter what the cost. And the movie brings it to very kind of absurd extremes, but to me, it's a very good illustration of how absurd all of this is, like all of these egoic battles really are. But the larger point that I want to make is, number one, the main Colin Farrell's character is really choosing to kind of live in this sort of like self-imposed hell, I guess is what you can call it. And for most of the movie, you really, or at least I really sympathized with him because it takes place, I guess, probably in the 1920s in this very small village in Ireland. And it kind of, you kind of look at it and it looks like he doesn't really have like a lot of options, right? Like he's just lost his only friend and he's lost pretty much throughout the movie, he loses pretty much everything that is valuable to him. And so I really felt for him in the movie, but then he actually gets an opportunity, and without giving too much away, he basically gets an opportunity to remedy the situation and to create a whole new life for himself that's much better than the life that he is currently experiencing, and to step out of all this misery that he's experiencing and to experience something better for himself. But instead he turns down that opportunity. It's almost like he'd rather choose to continue to wallow in his misery because that's the story that he's built for himself. And kind of going along with this point, like there's a lot of shots in this movie where you see that this place in Ireland is just breathtakingly beautiful. It's very, very gorgeous. But the characters in the movie, they can't see this beauty because they're so caught up in their own melodrama and their own battles and their own pointless grudges with one another. And so to me, the big lesson, at least that I took away from it and kind of looking at it from a law of assumption standpoint, is basically, number one, recognizing the beauty and richness that's around you and that's accessible to you at all times, and then rearranging the way that you see the world. And when you see the world, again, through this lens of love, and if you see the world as this place of opportunity, instead of seeing it as a prison, all of a sudden these doors are going to open. And you'll recognize when the doors open, and because you'll just be receptive to them. You'll be kind of in that mindset and making the choice. I think a lot of times we kind of want to hang on. I know I've certainly been there, wanting to hang on to this identity as victim and wanting to wallow because that's the story that we're accustomed to. That's what's become familiar to us. So it's like we can't even imagine anything else. But by daring to imagine a new possibility for ourselves, we in turn open up whole new doors and really whole new worlds for ourselves. So with that, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.